Hey guys, Brockshield here. In this video, I wanted to bring you some highlights of the Jaedenar area within the Fellwood zone. The reason I wanted to explore Jaedenar is because when I was leveling Brockshield from levels 1 through 60, this area has a quest chain that leads you deep into the caverns of the zone. From here, you approach near the end of the zone, I should say the hollow. However, you actually don't have to go the full distance, which means that once I had leveled to my max potential, I was excited to go back and run through Jaedenar. One of the reasons I'm so excited about now running through these caverns is because of the mob variety of the area. Typically in the World of Warcraft, if you look at some of the zones, such as Westfall, you expect to find Defias mobs there, or in Redridge Mountains, Gnoll mobs there, or in Duskwood, spiders, wolves, bears, etc. Whereas in this area of Jaedenar, you have an eclectic mix of mobs. That means you get a nice experience and a beautiful color palette of blues, pinks, purples, and it means a good experience for the gamer. I was excited to return to Jaedenar because for me it symbolized another example of the strength of the Blizzard development and design team. When you look at most MMORPGs, the ability for them to not just create a map on a horizontal scale, but also a vertical scale. For example, if you think of a game like OSRS, you can have a building with so many levels that you can scale that building up and down many times over. And in a game like World of Warcraft, where the designers took that creativity and really pushed the limits of the game, it shows in Jaedenar when, for a first-time player exploring this zone, you just don't know how far the designers have created this beautiful area for. This was one of the areas of the World of Warcraft that I held a special place for in my heart because of its mystery. So much of this game is already explored, already known. So when you find something that is unknown to you, it becomes attractive and intriguing. I wanted to know what was at the end of Jaedenar, because when I was level 55, etc., questing through this area, these mobs were difficult fights each time. I didn't have all the tier 2 gear. I didn't have Sulfurous Hand of Ragnaros, Skullflame Shield, Force Reactive Disc, Engineering, Blacksmithing, all the enchants, etc. I just had a pretty dinky mace probably, and just the desire to grow Brockshield and then Denarius and Prominion, and give that energy and love that they have back to the Alliance. So now returning to this dungeon, it makes me think about where I was so long ago with Brockshield now. Over a year ago, in fact. When I was having to watch my back, as you don't want to have to, finish one mob in front of you and get respawns on the way out of the cavern, etc., etc. So it just goes to show you that when you go back to these areas later, it does bring a nice feeling. And that's something I'm excited about with TBC, is the dungeons like Stratholme, Lower Blackrock Spire, Upper Blackrock Spire, Dire Maw, they're a little high for a 3-man composition to start AoEing, as they are firmly designed for 5 level 60s. So it's not the same as Blackrock Depths, where there's still a lovely amount of space and growth for our characters to experience, where that teamwork that we have on the Alliance comes to shine as that synergy between the Paladin, Druid, and Mage classes really shows. And so, when going through Jaedenar, it makes me think back to those days leveling. Long before I knew that we would be able to manifest these legitimate tri-box trio that would do so much and have enough gold for the 3 epic mounts ahead of time, be that much more prepared for the Burning Crusade from a position of strength and stature. One of the things that I like about this area, like I mentioned, the mob diversity, I really like seeing, the orc warlocks, the minion succubuses, fell hounds, fell guards, poison oozes. It just is a beautiful diversity, that color palette of blues and pinks and purples, greens, oranges. It just makes the player feel like there's so much more unexplored in the game. Because if this one cave can have such depth, it makes you want to explore those Yeti caves in Alterac Valleys, for example, and all the you all understand the Yeti caves and all the different caves with the different saber type monsters, gnoll type monsters, etc. And it sparks that creativity and ingenuity in you as a player to keep pushing for more. As we move now towards the end of the dungeon, you'll eventually see a level 59 elite called Lord Banehollow. I enjoyed fighting Lord Banehollow here, pretty much because of his death animation. When Lord Banehollow passes here, this is just another example of the attention to detail that the excellent development and design team give to this World of Warcraft. They could easily have just had this mob, fall the same as every other one, but the fact that they cared to distinguish Lord Banehollow from the rest of these horde-esque mobs shows the love they have for the player, that once you have pushed through Jaedenar and run through all of your obstacles, that the reward at the end should be unique. So as we move to the end of the video, I would like to say thank you for watching. All the support I've received over this first year with Brockshield has been more than I can tell you. I really didn't think I would make it this far as a YouTuber, and I definitely appreciate the likes, the comments, and the subscriptions, and I thank you for that. So light be with you all. Take care. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and many more will come. So, thanks again, and look forward to seeing you next time.